Very much, and thank you for this opportunity this afternoon to sit down and chat in regards to illegal fireworks in our community, and to kind of provide just a general update for what we did this last year in 2022 during the 4th of July period. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason, for joining us. So do you want to explain a little bit to the audience about what a social host ordinance is?
Absolutely. So about a year and a half ago, the Sacramento City Council adopted a ordinance, which is called a social host ordinance against illegal fireworks. Basically, that gives the City of Sacramento officers, including myself from the fire department, code enforcement, police, additional opportunities to be able to issue citations for individuals who use or store illegal fireworks on their property. And how that works is that we can have an officer on view a firework leaving the property just by a visual verification that the firework has left the property. What we would do is document that, also videotape or take pictures to indicate where the violation happened. And then we can issue a citation via mail after the 4th of July to the registered homeowner and or home occupant.
And what are the fines for the social host for violating the social host ordinance?
Yeah, so the first violation starts at $1,000. The second violation within a year is $2,500, and then third violation is $5,000 for 3 or more violations in a given year. Thank
you. So do you have some stats for this 4th of July, as far as how many tickets were written, how many calls came in, that type of thing?
Yes, absolutely. So this 4th of July, our code enforcement, along with city fire and police, all responded as a task force this year. So for our stats, we issued a total of 45 citations during our fire operational period, which is the week leading up to the 4th of July. And also past the 4th of July, we had crews go out on the weekends and so forth. And we issued on 4th of July by itself 35 citations for social host ordinance violations. Also this year, on 4th of July, we responded as a fire department to 64 fires. This is down 20% compared to last year. And what we found out is 12 of those fires were caused by fireworks, either illegal fireworks or even safe and scene fireworks that were either improperly handled and or discarded inappropriately.
Cool. And do you the number of citations that were written, approximately how much money in fines does that equate to?
Absolutely. So those citations are around $50,000 in total dollar value. And also, if we have additional citations to issue based upon any of the fireworks by a bus program that we did with our police department, we'll also add those citations too. Cool.
So where do you see areas of improvement for next year's enforcement plan?
So it really starts, looking holistically at the program. So staffing, we want to try to get as many of our officers and city officers available for staffing. So that's something that we're going to look at augmenting that. We'll also look at our budgets for next year too, to help support some of the our buy bus program that we successfully done this year. We had around 300 pounds of fireworks that were seized this year by the police department. We want to try to expand upon that for next year. Also, some of the key areas, we use a third-party phone, smartphone app called NALM, which is a app that people can download either on iPhone or the Android Google Play Store. And basically, you can take the information and submit a complaint. It goes directly to the fire department and to our task force officers. So this year on 4th of July, we received about 418 citations just for the city of Sacramento, citations or complaints for the city of Sacramento. However, we also staffed a telephone number called 916-808-FIRE, which is a non-emergency telephone number where we took all the calls that were received from 911 and diverted that in there. And we also had a lot of information that was submitted to us via the phone and NALM that was actually outside of the city of Sacramento that we had to go through and field. So for next year, we really want to try to coordinate and work with the county to see if they can adopt this a similar program to where a lot of these calls for service that we were receiving in the city of Sacramento could be diverted automatically out to the county areas. And that would help our staffing and the amount of call takers that we would have during the 4th of July period.
So what would it take for that to happen? Is there some kind of like GPS codes or something like that that need to be put into the NALM app to help with the situation?
Absolutely. From talking to the app developers with NALM, there are KML codes, which are key mapping codes that the county and the surrounding jurisdictions would have to submit to this program. And then those specific complaints that are received online would go to the appropriate county organization. So the ones for the city would still remain with the city, obviously, but then the county areas could also receive those complaints, which would help with getting the information out to the county and also help by vetting the information that comes into the city.
So did this situation bring the city of Sacramento system to its knees?
Yeah, so what we found out around 10:30 on the 4th of July evening, there was a system crash that took place for about an hour because we were received not only all of the online complaints via the smartphone app, but also we were importing information in from our call center directly into the NALM program. And so all of those complaints entered in and it did crash the system. So that's something that we're working with the app developers for next year.
Also, with the key codes for the cities of Citrus Heights, Folsom, Rancho Cordova, Elk Grove, though Elk Grove has their own system, right? I mean, they're not using the NALM app, they're using some homegrown device. But would the codes also from these cities also help to prevent calls from those cities also going into the city of Sacramento system, or is it just the unincorporated area?
Well, that would definitely help because we had a lot of our call takers that were taking the calls, not just from NALM, but also from our 911 dispatch center. We're receiving calls from around the area, and so we were diverting calls from our call center back to the county areas, and so that led to some frustrations for a lot of the folks calling in because they were making multiple calls, and so we want to try to smooth things out for next year. And so the better communication we have amongst our regional partners would definitely help with that.
Thank you, Jason. So one more question, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. Sorry. So we know that the city of Lakewood has allocated money towards private patrols to augment their lack of resources. City of Lakewood, of course, is in LA County, but they have been quite successful with this program. Is this something that the city of Sacramento would look into?
Absolutely. So we will look at this program for next year as part of our after action assessment and look at different ways where we could look at bringing in additional resources, also additional funding mechanisms. So something similar to what Lakewood did, that's something that we will always look at, and we're always here to try to improve upon our program.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jason. Really appreciate your time.